Today we have a very interesting topic that we thought we would perhaps talk about and
Yes.
see if maybe we could make an impact on a couple of young guys or something.
Impacting the youth.
Impacting the youth. Because I feel like, there is a calling out there for this
Yes.
among the youth of
Among
today.
the
I
youth,
feel like
because technically, if you look at this generation, I mean, the youth is supposed to be the generation of tomorrow.
Indeed,
But
indeed.
if the youth are somehow facing some challenges,
yes,
those want to make this some kind of universal thing so that it caters everyone, so that we are able to, regardless of gender,
Exactly.
maybe work-based prospect and all that,
yes,
something which just covers everything. But
Yes,
focusing
very
on the youth,
most likely, yes.
most likely on the youth, is to tackle this issue of depression.
Depression, man.
Depression. Hey,
I mean,
I mean that's one hell of a topic, but
I don't even know where to start, but I've realized this among the youth of today,
Yes.
I mean among the whole entire nation per se.
yes,
People are struggling out there.
and that's
People
a
are
fact.
down. People are facing a lot of challenges that they might seemingly not be able to tackle or face.
Face to
And
face. Exactly.
it then becomes a ripple effect, which is causing negative impacts on perhaps the people that are around those people.
Okay,
Yes.
I get what you're going.
So, due to that factor alone, I think it's something that we have to be aware of and we have to talk to. We have to talk about for people to understand better.
Exactly.
Well, what
Because
is depression?
what is depression to start with?
Yes.
Because many people don't even know that they're systematically suffering from depression until maybe until the end result. I'm guessing some people don't even know. They are not even
They are not
aware
even aware that this is
that
depression.
thing which they are facing
Yes.
day to day, or that thing which they are feeling, we should be able to call it depression or something.
Interesting.
So maybe that factor alone,
Yes.
that being able to highlight maybe the characteristics of what this depression is, or the signs and symptoms of what depression is. Okay, maybe we can go back to go by name.
Yeah, I think
Maybe-
let's hear what Google says.
Let's
But
see
I
what-
still remember reading this other author. I have forgotten his name.
Yes.
He was talking about depression as a sort of mindset, an unstable mindset.
Okay. That's
He was-
beautiful.
he
An
was-
unstable mindset. That's beautiful.
Yes.
So that means that in short, maybe we are saying that though that unstable mindset goes back to having thoughts maybe which are rather unfavorable, or let's say maybe toxic thoughts, which you aren't able to pinpoint what they really mean.
Okay. Interesting. I think you're bringing out another aspect there.
Okay.
Depression. It just seems like it's actually quite a broad topic.
Exactly. That's what I'm actually seeing right here.
Because one could also say that depression can be pointed out as things not going your way. So the feeling that you get from disappointment
Okay.
or perhaps resentment
I like that.
could lead you to what? To depression.
Depression.
So this is like an outcome that you wanted that wasn't fulfilled.
But that wasn't fulfilled.
That leads one into what? Into a state of mind, which is what an is.
Hey, that's beautiful. That's
Quite
beautiful.
interesting.
Quite interesting. Was just managed to bring out another aspect of maybe a certain expectations in life.
Interesting.
Expectations.
I like how you bring expectations in it. Okay.
Exactly.
Continue.
We ought to expect something.
Yes.
So the general inhabitant of this expectation, we would like to know that. So it's sort of like you have set out your goals, you have written down your goals, you have written down your maybe the general pathway which you want to take.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, you see that path which you lay down maybe on a piece of paper or in your mind, not going the same way which you projected it. That being the expectation, right there, then it leads you to this unfavorable state of mind.
Interesting.
Okay, that's
Interesting.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
I like that.
That's
I
beautiful.
like
That's
that.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
I like that.
From
So what is Google saying?
From Google here, they're saying depression, a group of conditions associated with the elevation or lowering of a person's mood, such as depression or bipolar disorder. So they've managed to branch out the types of depression.
Interesting.
So it seems we have 5 types of depression here.
Okay.
The first one being clinical depression,
Mm-hmm.
which is a mental health disorder characterized by persistently depressed mood or a loss of interest in activities, causing significant impairment in daily life.
Okay.
The second one being persistent depressive disorder, a mild but long-term form of depression. Oh, I've realized that they're just coming back to the terminology of depression without really explaining what it is. But anyways, let's proceed.
Interesting.
Bipolar disorder,
Yes.
a disorder associated with episodes of mood swings ranging from depressive lows to manic highs. So technically, bipolar disorder is just an excessive mood swing. So the very fabrical question to ask here is,
Yes.
what really causes those mood swings?
Yes.
We are
Okay.
saying that-
Okay. I like how
so-
you're breaking this down into smaller elements.
So we're saying that a general change of mood is maybe at some point you were happy,
Yeah.
at some point
You're sad.
you're sad, at some point you are like at a high level state of ecstasy or of happiness.
Yes.
And then at some point you're at your lowest point. Okay, interesting. I think
Perhaps due to a variable that might have triggered that, right?
exactly, that's very true. Exactly, that's very true. Having a variable which might have triggered that state of mind. Exactly, that's beautiful. Then we have bipolar second disorder, a less severe type of bipolar disorder characterized by depressive and hypomanic episodes. Then we have postpartum depression that occurs after childbirth. I think this one maybe is for, I don't know if it caters for both males and females, but
Mm-hmm. I've once heard that it just might.
interesting. I think maybe that would be something which you'd like to take a look
It
at.
seems like Google is opening up a Pandora of a plethora to say of
plethora
different
to say.
types of depression. But should it be that way? I mean, that's the question. Should it be characterized into certain elements for people, for us perhaps to, how do I put this? For us to welcome it, or for it to be more acceptable to us. I don't know.
Because I've realized that what you're saying is they've managed to just break down
Yes.
this depression into sort of like different types of these highs and lows.
Okay. Also, in short, you're saying that among all these varied factors that they're listing out,
Exactly.
they all come down to one thing. They all branch down to one
They
thing.
all branch down to one thing. Because since they've managed to outline in every type of depression that it's a certain high or a low, then that would mean that it's an altering of that natural state which we think we ought to have.
Okay.
Maybe that natural stimuli is just a calmness throughout our day-to-day lives.
Okay.
So in other words, it's pointing out to depression being caused by an alternating factor, maybe being an external factor,
Okay.
which is sort of like maybe external factors like maybe you're expecting something,
Mhm.
you didn't get that thing, then all of a sudden your mood is somehow down or something like that.
Yes.
So one might say, one might want to ask, so
Mhm.
is this depressive state
Mhm.
something of our own creation as people? Like we are literally self-imposing depression on ourselves.
Okay.
I think maybe that would be something we should want to ask.
I think I hear what you're saying. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I have no clue as to how I'm going to respond to that one. But she can continue. Quite interesting.
Because
Yeah.
since these guys have managed to outline that no, depression
Yeah.
is another state of mind
Mhm.
which is deviating from that normal state of mind which
Oh,
which
interesting.
we should be culminating through our day-to-day activities with.
Okay.
So that means at some point
Yes.
I would like to say maybe, let's say in expectation, we're expecting someone to bring you a gift or something,
Mhm.
then maybe due to some reason beyond that person's control,
Yes.
he or she fails to do something for you which you were expecting,
Mhm.
then all of a sudden this thought or mental state shifts. at that moment, that's where you create this variable where you start entering all these inconsistent mood swings.
Okay.
Where all of a sudden weary of what's really happening.
Inconsistent mood swings.
Right. That's I like how you pick that.
Interesting.
Like how you pick that.
Okay.
Okay, that's beautiful. Boss, one might want to argue that
Yes.
no, depression is 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 literally something which is beyond our control, but you want to bring it back, like strip it down and see if that's really true. Because one might say no, I might not be able to control it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we want, looking at what's happening in the world, what's happening on the world level, people are literally being punched in the face by life. So that is a whole we are trying to everyone is trying to navigate his or her own way to maybe to the next day, to the next month, to the next year, to the next
really
10 years, day, literal survival.
Literal survival. Okay, I like that. I mean, one could easily say that why are we perhaps dragging this whole issue? Why can't we perhaps just get the point? I mean, I think it's important for us to first understand where depression comes from. Because if you understand its constructs or its DNA, it becomes easy for us to what? To tackle this, the whole notion or idea. Because I mean, we have to be realistic, and it seems like, I mean, a lot of people are in that unstable mind. Because I would like to remove the term depression because it kind of opens up a lot. Because remember, depression is it seems like it has different connotations or names to it. But I think if I like how we broke it down to something that literally anyone can relate to. The moment I enter into a state of mind which is unease, unfavorable, unfavorable point in life, that could be posed as depression per se. So I think if you break it down like how we're doing, it becomes easier for us to identify the solutions. Because really depression is something that the society of today is really stuck.
It's like it's at its highest, at its peak.
It's like one was saying that depression is like is caused by a certain lack. It's lacking something. It's a lack.
It's a lack of something.
Or malnutrition of something.
Okay,
so perhaps we just might, we might get to what one might be lacking. But
what one might be lacking.
Yeah, what one might be lacking.
Okay.
But I think it's really out there, and I think everyone actually has had depression in their life.
That's very
I've had my fair share of depression, and I'm sure you had
I can't deny the fact. It's obvious.
So I think what's important is for us to understand how to get from that state to a better state.
Okay.
Because
so I wanted to tackle this now from an internal perspective.
Okay.
As a person who was once in this depressive state.
Yes.
So you pointed out the fact that depression is a lack of something.
Okay.
We are lacking something.
Yes.
So this lack of something, it's sort of like, let's say I as a person,
yes,
I feel like I'm at this point in life, maybe let's say I've just finished my high school, or something like that. Yes. Obviously, the next thing which you would want to do after finishing high school, you want to go to university and all that.
I guess that's what society.
That's what society.
That's another topic for another day.
That's another topic for another day.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, so you said I said that let's say you've just finished your high school, there you want to go to university and all that.
Yeah.
So you can see that, like, as we grow. We are fed into this system where everything is sort of like we are following an exponential line where things seem as if they have been laid out for us systematically, that after you finish this stage, you are supposed to go to that stage. After finishing that stage, you're supposed to going to that stage.
Okay.
After finishing that stage, you have to be going to that stage.
This stage. Okay.
Now, I'd like to say that this is systematic, meaning that someone has implemented this system.
Yes.
But as an individual, maybe
Yes.
there's something which I would want to pursue, or something which I would like to say, nah, this is something which I want to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we go beyond the fact that maybe after that you're supposed to go to university, but just that person who feels like, nah, you can be doing something which is in line with with a certain talent which you're good at, right?
Yeah.
So the moment that people try to enroute you to do something which is not of your liking,
Okay.
at that very moment in time,
Yes.
you have lacked that freedom of choice, or that free will, so to say.
I think I get you now. Interesting.
So that could be another form of or that could be another element which
Yes.
could be leading to something like what.
Some
So
systematic systems that have been employed by society. Let's just say society for time's sake.
for time's sake,
You know,
exactly.
I like how you pointed this fact out. I mean, we all have these systems that, these mandatory systems per se,
Exactly.
that we have to go from there to there to there to there.
There's to be information which we have to process on level to understand what.
To where we have to go.
where-
It's like they set some sort of hierarchy, or some sort of
Exactly. I like how you pointed the fact of hierarchy. That's beautiful.
going from a lower place to a higher place. It's like it's already says the place for us that for you to be successful, you have to do this.
And yet now, as individuals, we all know that we are different.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
So the moment that we have a certain plan laid out for us, right, which we are supposed to follow,
Oh, yeah.
and we want everyone to follow the same system, to someone it might be a constricting way of doing the things,
True.
which still lead us to the top. I mean, the end goal is to reach to the top, or to reach to a certain destination.
Yeah.
But the journey might be different.
Maybe different.
But it's in this place where we are trying to now make everyone take the same journey, or do the same thing, or expect the same thing,
Okay.
or be given the same thing, that this manic depression starts to kick in.
Okay.
That's that mental state where
Yeah.
you are battling yourself, sort of like an inner battle, or an external battle rather. You fighting against what the world wants you to do, something like that.
Some sort of conflict.
Sort of like that conflict. Now there is a conflict of this state of mind.
Okay. Interesting.
So brought up
Interesting.
another notion of conflict
Okay.
in the
Well,
mind.
you're literally sharing us your view of
Exactly.
depression.
Exactly.
I mean, I liked how you described it as some sort of conflicting desire or passion with what's set for us and what you feel like, or you feel perhaps you might be good at.
Exactly.
It seems like you bring out an element of passion here also, but we really don't want to dive into that, because that could be another aspect.
Be another aspect
we
that
can talk about as well.
That's very true. But due to time, I think we just have to break. We're just gonna do this breakdown of what this whole thing
Right.
is.
Quite interesting.
Quite interesting.
I mean, okay, from my own perspective, I've seen depression more of the, I want to talk more of the end result.
Okay.
I want to talk more
Okay,
of the
that's
end result.
beautiful, that's
I mean, one thing I've realized is that it's like I'm literally high on an adrenaline that pushes me to take my mind away from that particular failure to somewhere that maybe I might feel better about myself. It's me trying to channel my mind to perhaps to forget, or try to reject what I am feeling, or trying to counter my disappointments that I've had. I've seen myself resorting into ways or situations that I'm not quite familiar with. I mean, like, I still quite remember that.
That's beautiful.
I think at a quite young age, I think I was around 3 or 4, something like that.
Exactly.
You know, I found myself going perhaps into parties, you know,
Something which you definitely know that that's not your nature.
my nature.
Okay,
But
okay.
I was out there trying to look for the thrill. It was more of a thrill thing because I just wanted to take my mind from there to somewhere perhaps I could forget the whole feeling that I was feeling.
Okay. This being the end result.
That being the end result.
Hey,
So it
that's
seems like
beautiful.
I was pushing myself to forget what I was feeling. More of trying to literally divert. You know,
Divert.
I really didn't want to face those disappointments or those
Exactly.
or that
That's
state of
good.
mind.
That state of mind.
I really wanted to just literally
just
flee away from
literally
it.
Flee away from
Because
it.
I personally couldn't cope with it.
Okay.
I couldn't cope with it.
Okay.
So I thought perhaps maybe I might find ways
So
that
that
I
you
might
can come.
drive my mind into and perhaps find another interest that might push my mind into stopping thinking of those kind of things.
Okay, that's beautiful.
But nevertheless, that didn't work.
Okay, now that's another thing. I really loved how you managed to
Yeah.
give us like this whole end result of this depressive state. Like
Yeah.
the moment when you tried
Yes.
to divert the mind away from what's really happening
Yes.
in real time,
Yeah.
in what's those not wanting to face those failures head on.
Okay.
Otherwise, you wanted to try to divert
Yeah.
your mind for the thrill.
Through, yeah.
So that means those are some of the end results of these depressives. They end us giving us these making us do some of these things, which we really know that we would want to divert away from the what, from all these failures, all this.
Or maybe, I mean, bro,
force.
maybe I might not necessarily wanted to have to divert from those. Maybe that was my normal lifestyle, but you could see an excessive use of those. Perhaps of alcohol or party. You could see an excessive use of things that perhaps weren't excessive as much. The excessive usage really it really took a stroke. Because I just had to drown my mind and literally take myself from that level of thinking and literally try to forget. But the same thing is that the next day, perhaps I would go out partying today. The next day, I would literally wake up and feel much more terrible, which was very sad.
And I can
And you know what I would have to do? I would have to go to the. I have to go back and do the same thing that I was doing last
It
time.
becomes a cycle, and I can
becomes a cycle.
actually relate to that
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah.
Because I used to be in that very same state.
Yeah.
Where you want to it's sort of like us trying to kill depression. We are trying to literally kill it. But at the end of the day,
Yes.
we can't kill it by trying to divert away from our problems, trying to
Yes.
engage in all these sort of like external thrills.
So what are you bring up? Are you saying that we should perhaps face on these
like
personal issues?
That's what I'm thinking. Because
Yeah.
for me, when I try to engage in all these alcohols, in all these parties,
Yeah.
like what you say, the next day you would wake up and be like, nah, man,
So, not me.
what's up?
Yeah.
But at the same time, now this is you the next day.
Yeah.
In order to remove that feeling for that day, you go back to the same thing, and it becomes what a repetitive
Literally
cycle.
self-inflicting pain.
Self-inflicting pain. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you are literally screaming for help. You're not saying anything. You're not telling anyone anything. But you're literally screaming for help. Like me personally, I was literally screaming for help. Like,
Right.
yo, somebody come and save the boy. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like you want out, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you think you have an edge
Yeah.
over everything.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, my main concern is this thing which literally tells me that fam, we need to be out of here.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you find yourself doing the same thing.
Same thing.
So it becomes a cycle.
It becomes a cycle. I mean, I've heard a lot of perhaps motivational speakers say that face head on your challenge and all that. But I feel like people don't really understand how to do how to face those challenges.
Exactly.
But I would just like to bring out this aspect that
Exactly.
I think when one is being referred to as heading on or facing on their challenges, I think first you have to really identify the problem.
Okay, that's beautiful.
First, you really have to identify that, right, this is the problem that I'm dealing with now, right?
Exactly.
And perhaps try to come up with different alternatives on how you might solve that problem.
Okay.
Because it seems like these problems really never go away.
They never.
They're always lingering around. It's
Yeah,
like they're literally waiting for you at the door.
Hanging away at the door, like, yo, I see you.
But the question now is, one could easily ask,
Yes.
even if I face these challenges, perhaps do they go? I mean, one might say, I've tried that and it has failed. How then can you address that issue to such a person?
Okay, so what I've realized about that's a beautiful question.
Yeah.
By the way. What I've realized about that,
Yeah.
like you said, facing those challenges and those problems head on.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'd like to look for alternatives to sort of like make all those things go away, right? But you need to realize that now the fact that you're consciously aware that you no longer want to do this, right? Then you say, nah, I now want to tackle these challenges head on.
Interesting. Oh,
Right? That's another aspect, right?
Okay, conscious awareness.
Consciously aware,
Okay.
aware, just you being aware of
Yes.
all things, right?
Okay.
So another thing, you want to face these challenges head
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So many people think that maybe some of these things you can literally do them alone, right? Like as an individual.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at some point,
Yeah.
we need to understand that that's why they are people. You know,
Yeah.
that's why they are
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
That's why. That's the whole part of people being humane is
Indeed,
just
indeed.
socialize, interact. You know,
Yes.
you can go and confide
Yes.
in someone else
Yeah.
to the point that you're trying to look for solutions as a whole, right? You don't necessarily have to like face this thing head on as an individual, but
Yeah.
trust me,
Yeah.
that's something else.
Something else, right?
That's something else, man. I'm telling you, it's like trying to play tug of war alone over there. That's why you see people when they're playing tug of war, they have a team over there, they have a team over there. One might fall, but
Yes.
then he literally picks himself up, goes back at the end of the rope and pulls.
again.
You see,
Constant effort among the people around you, perhaps.
exactly. Constant effort among
Yeah.
the people around.
I like.
There's too much information which you have to process on the level to understand what.
I like that.
You see,
Yes.
like let's say for example, I come.
Yes.
I have a problem. I
Mhm.
say, Nigel, nah, brother, I got this.
Yeah.
Instead of you trying to maybe nah, that's some you're weak, you're nah. You come with a solution now. Hey,
Yes.
what if we try to do this? What if
Yes.
we try to do this? What if we do that?
Yes.
What if we do that? That concern which you show
Yes.
me, that literally can move a person to imaginable heights which you never thought of.
And that's interesting. You know what? Before I forget,
Yeah.
you bring out two aspects there.
Yes.
You bring out one, the element of the people, the type of people around you.
Exactly.
You know,
Right.
Because I mean, you just cannot necessarily say that you go and confide in anyone that you
Anyone.
can literally see that this person perhaps you might have a flawed vision,
Okay, that's
vision of
it.
this aspect.
Yes.
The second aspect now, it has to do with how do I put this? You said the first one is the people around you, right?
The type of people around you.
Type of people around you.
Exactly.
Second, I think we have to understand that as people, we have our strengths and weaknesses.
Okay, that's
see.
beautiful. Yes.
I per se know that your strength in perhaps is as in perhaps intellectual wise, be it in school or something like that. You're quite good at solving problems, perhaps mathematical or something like that.
Exactly.
Let me use a simple example.
Exactly.
I'm good at English, you're good at math.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. That's
I might not be as good as you at math.
okay.
You see,
Yes,
that
yes.
could be the challenge that I'm
Could be
facing right now.
Challenge which you're
You see,
facing. Okay. Yes.
so this is for me to be at a better place is that I have to come to you now, and we have to interact just how you put it. We are social beings. We have to interact.
That's very true.
I come to you and like, bro,
Irregardless.
look, I have this problem. I mean, I'm not quite good at this method or that. Can you
Okay.
perhaps talk me through it? You know,
Exactly.
I'm
that's
sure you
very
could
true.
you can shed a couple lights here. Like, no, you know,
Okay.
this.
Exactly.
And I might as well shed my information or my light in my aspect that I'm good at, which could actually make you a better person.
Okay, that's
So I think you bring out an element of strength and weaknesses among people.
exactly. That's very true.
That's why we have to confide.
That's why you have to confide.
Yes.
Because not everyone is
Yes,
the almighty pillar of strength.
indeed.
Everyone falls short.
We all have our flaws.
We all have our flaws.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that very element that we are able to identify
Yes.
that this person's strength could be that person's weakness.
Indeed.
You bring those people to those two
Together.
people together.
Yes.
You might, and it's life is a funny way of acting. You
Yeah.
realize that you see that person has a strength, that
Yes.
person has a weakness.
Yes.
The same strength might
Yes.
be that other person's
Weakness.
weakness. It's
Funny enough, it just
it's
just
literally
kind of works like that. I don't know why,
it
but
literally just works like that.
yeah, I've
You
seen.
see,
Yeah. Yeah.
it literally balances, but somehow we end up thinking that nah, it's sort of like it won't work now. But
Yeah.
people ain't trying to give it a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like that very fact.
Interesting. This is quite interesting. So it seems like it's what you're saying, that I now have to be consciously aware,
Exactly.
consciously
Consciously
aware
aware.
of the people,
Exactly.
or the flea of my influence,
Exactly.
the people around me.
Exactly. That's very
Can
true.
they perhaps channel me
to
to remove me from this state of mind,
this state of mind.
somewhere else?
Exactly. Because I realized one thing.
Yeah.
When tackling or battling with such things,
Yeah.
there is also an element of fear which is involved. Now, how does this fear get in the way?
Yes.
Sort of like people are afraid
Yeah.
that if they leave that very thing which they're doing,
Yes.
then what? What's next? People are afraid of that what's next button.
Okay.
You know, I've literally seen people not knowing what to do after maybe they resort to leaving that particular thing which they are doing.
Yeah.
But that's not how things work.
Yeah.
You know, life just has a way of finding its balance.
Indeed.
If only we gave it a chance.
Yes.
Right. So it's sort of like, let's say you manage to say that I'm at fault and literally I need help. You help me, you balance me, you show me like in a positive way.
Yeah.
I can be able, you see that you've managed to wake out this day, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, it just becomes a smooth flow of everything. We don't really, now we come back to expectations. We expect that maybe if we leave something today,
Yes.
tomorrow
you're all
you're,
good.
you know, glowing
Interesting.
glowing and be like
We hate the idea of constant battling that
Constant.
issue, you know.
Exactly.
Because it kind of takes quite some time, you know, perhaps a month or a week,
Or a
to
week
be
or even
dealing
a
with that
year.
issue, that challenge.
Exactly.
And
That's
we
very
hate
true.
that phase.
And we hate that phase. But if only we understood the power of that phase, that could be something beautiful.
The power of that phase.
The power of that phase. Boys, trust me, it don't even take you a week. I don't even take you a month. Sometimes it can even take you years.
And it's this very aspect which is building you.
Exactly. That's the very, I mean, maybe 4 years from where you were, and you look back and you be like, nah.
Yeah. That
This is
constant effort.
This constant effort has put me somewhere. This has become a massive transformation.
Yeah, interesting.
Hey, that's something else.
I like that.
That's something else.
Also, you know, you always introduce this. You always talked about this aspect of iron sharpening iron.
Exactly. Iron sharpening iron.
Yes, but this one is a bit tricky now, because we have to identify that my friend is iron. You have to identify that my friend here can take me to a better place than I will. You know, there has to be an elevation here. And sadly enough, you have to identify that. And I think we all have that power within us to easily identify that my friend is good friends, that friend is not.
I think that's something which we literally have. That's high key. We can literally say that that's this person can take me to that place, and it's a bad place. Or the moment, I think maybe another issue is like, let's say two people, like iron sharpeneth iron.
Yes.
Maybe one iron is sharper than the other one is totally has edges and all that, right?
Yes.
So that means that this iron which is sharper has managed to identify the problem that this iron is not sharp. Right? It's a constant. Like let's take for example, let's look at the example for the elements of iron. You can see that it's a hard metal. It's something which even takes years to break.
Indeed.
Right?
Yes.
So imagine trying to hit another iron, trying to pierce through another iron. That might literally take what?
Take time. Yes.
Right? So
it's a process.
It's a process. From that alone, you can realize that it's what? It's a process. Maybe the only thing was I literally feel like everyone, like this is something which, like I said, we are all human. We literally have that. We are consciously aware of that fact that we literally need someone who will be overlooking our shoulder.
Indeed.
Regardless of how tough you want to act out.
Yeah, we all need that.
We
Someone
all need
there to-
that somebody, you know. So the moment you realize that this person is trying to, I believe that you just fall in, you know,
Right.
you can just realize.
Yeah.
Now a blind man can lead another blind man.
Indeed.
Now
indeed.
that becomes a problem.
That becomes a problem.
But when there's one iron which is sharper, it can
Okay, I
literally
like that
sharpen
aspect.
another
I
one.
like that aspect. Okay. Flying that. Okay, you should be telling us that. Look, at the end of the day, we have to make that decision at times. You know, we just can't live life to fate or destiny.
Exactly.
you know, we have to make
we-
cognitive decisions
Exactly,
based
that's-
on our lives.
Exactly, that's
You know,
very true.
I have to be able to discern that this friend perhaps, because then it's about elevation. You know, I want to move myself from bad place or perhaps a better place to a much better place.
Because one thing I'm aware of is everybody wants positivity.
Exactly.
That's the whole issue of
That's the whole
depression.
issue. Yes, it's about positivity.
It's all about positivity.
You want to be at a better
You want to
place.
be at a better place.
Yes.
But the moment you realize that you're failing to be at a better place,
Yes.
depression hits.
Right.
So I believe
Yes.
I liked how this all went, you know, we all managed
Literally
to
went
come-
sideways.
it all came back into place.
Yes.
So it's all about that positivity. you know.
Yes.
We all want positivity,
Yeah.
regardless of who, where, and what you are.
Indeed.
We all want that
We all want
positive
positivity.
element.
Yeah, I like that.
You can't resist the good, my dear.
we
I
can't.
literally
We
can't.
can't. We can't. We all want
It can't
to.
always be night. At some
Indeed.
point, it has to be day.
It has to be there.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
Exactly.
So it's quite important. I mean, we shouldn't put this aspect astray. That at the end of the day, you have to make a decision at times
At times, that's very true.
on your
That's very
sphere of influence, perhaps,
Exactly.
and you have to discern that perhaps I realize that the people around me, they're literally dragging me down, or maybe not necessarily dragging you down. I believe that we all have visions, right, or where we want to be.
Exactly.
So I
that's
think
very true.
perhaps you have to have the same vision and sync with the people that you want to be involved with. There has to be an element of similarity among the people you are with. You know, for a smaller transaction to move quite light from
Right.
A to B.
Okay.
So I think that's another aspect where we might miss that
Yes, exactly. That's very true. That's
as
very true.
individuals. So it seems like it's quite interesting how the people around us can shape us.
Can shape us.
It can also break us, I think.
That's beautiful. How they can literally shape us or
Yes,
even break
or
us,
break
and lead
us.
us to a literal downfall.
Yes, but I like that fate or life has given us the ability to what, to make the decision at the end of the day.
At the end of the day,
I can make a decision on myself that I don't want this person to be around me. His energy and his vibe and his vision
his vision
is
rather
totally
is-
not aligned to where I want to be.
Where I
So
want
you
to be.
cannot expect yourself to move towards the light or towards your vision when you're busy around with someone that is an alternative route that you want to take.
You want to take. Okay, that's
I mean I grew up saying that I usually rejected the notion that if you perhaps have bad friends, you might not turn out bad as well. I literally rejected that notion, but
you know.
I think age told me otherwise. I realized that the moment you really start going well, literally associating yourself with such elements, you tend to become that as well.
That's very true.
And it's a
That's very
process, a
true.
gradual process. which is
It's
quite
a
slow.
slow process to the
You
point that
feel it.
when you are in too deep, that's when
Yes.
you realize you'll be like,
Oh, wow. How did I go from there to there?
how did I go from there to there? You don't literally see the whole process.
Yes. You
Right?
don't.
You don't. You
You
literally don't. It only it's at the end that
At
you
the end.
realize, shit, I was doing this, I was in that, I was in that. And that's
Yeah.
very true.
Quite
I
true.
think I actually faced the same thing.
Yeah.
Where I literally saw myself
Yeah.
in this place where I didn't even know how I got there.
You got there.
You know, you literally out just smoking, drinking, and you realize, sometime down the line you realize, oh, so this is where I'm at.
How did I
How
end up
did I
here?
even end up here? Then
Yeah.
that's when you be like awake, you start trying to coerce and relate, and now trying to look back as to what happened, then that's when you try to regain everything.
But I like the fact that it's never really too late.
It's never
The
really
moment
too
you
late.
realize now, you have to be proactive in making a change.
Exactly.
You just can't be passive and be like, it's done.
It's done.
I'm dead. I'm way into deep.
Nah, you are never way into deep. You
Right.
are never
There's
way
always
into
hope.
deep. There's always hope. There's always time for change. There is always time for change. Now the people, I don't know how people have this notion that they think it's already too late. It's never too late. It's never too late. I mean, come on, the founder of KFC literally did that at 50 years.
50 years back. Imagine.
So it's never too late. In short,
Right.
it's never.
It's never too late. I like
It's
that.
never too late. That's the same thing with people battling with depression. It's
Yes.
never too late.
You can never say, you can really never hang the boots and say that I'm so
done. It's done. It's done. So nah, it's never.
There's still hope. Because at the end of the
There's
day,
still hope.
you are the own originator of your life.
Exactly.
You're the creator of your destiny.
The creator of your destiny. That's very
You
true.
can literally create. You can literally do what you want to do. You can just have to be proactive about it.
Proactive about it. I mean, come on, look at the birds. You know, the birds are literally out there. They don't even have the hassle of trying to cook food, but
Or anything.
But every day of their lives, they
see them.
sleep. You know, with their full belly.
With
and all
full
that.
belly and all that.
That's just to tell you something. You know, just appreciating this nature. You know, there's something else.
I like something. I like the element you're bringing there. I hope I won't. I won't take much of the time, but
Okay.
you bring out an aspect of appreciating the smaller things in life.
Thank you very much. I that's well said. You know, that's just appreciating.
Appreciating.
Take some time. You know,
Yes.
sit back, relax,
Yes.
appreciate
The small
smaller
things that you have.
things.
Because I would like to say that there are actually a lot of individuals that actually aspire. Perhaps they might not know your mental state,
Exactly.
but they really aspire to perhaps have the things that you have, or to be where you're at in life.
Exactly. That's very true.
So for you to rob yourself of that and from other people, that's just unfair.
That's just unfair. In its entirety, that's literally unfair.
So we really have to be appreciating
Yeah,
of that which we have.
Exactly.
Because there are always going to be people who are less than us. That's the irony of life.
That's
I mean,
the irony of life.
about just saying that I'm broken with it, but I've realized that if I walk a kilometer down this way, I might find someone who's way less privileged than I am.
Than you are, right? And I believe that the moment that we become aware of that fact,
Yes.
somehow there is this elevating factor which becomes in us.
Yes.
That we can literally appreciate the small things. You know, it's just so unfortunate that people nowadays are living that fast life where they want to be here, they want to be there,
Wow.
they want to be there.
Yes,
No,
yes.
no. Take
Yes.
some time. You know,
Breathe.
rest.
Rest.
I rest. The sleep of a liberal man is sweet.
Yes.
But rest, rest. Take your time to what? To relax and
To relax,
rest.
man.
And rest. And appreciate that little thing.
Bro, before I forget, you talked about something that's very important.
Okay.
The fast life. You know,
Exactly.
I was actually once caught up in that. You know, and the sad thing is that it literally takes the entire time. You'll be like, you wake up 5 years later and be like, wow, what was I doing this whole past 5 years? You know,
Exactly.
work. I've been just running all over the place.
All over the place.
Doing really nothing to perhaps just look at life outside the box and just seeing people, nature, life,
Life in itself.
the surroundings, appreciating family, friends.
I mean, that's the whole idea. That's literally the whole idea.
Yeah, I like that.
Just imagine having a cozy meal just in
Yes.
your house with your friends and family.
Yes.
That's something which nowadays people don't see and value.
We don't, man. We don't do
We-
that.
we
We
are
do not
literally-
value the time we have with our
We
family.
literally don't value the time which we have with our family, but that could be something which should be done. But we are out here trying to live that fast-paced life. We want to be there. We want to own that.
You know, I think we should also talk about that aspect in the next, perhaps in some other
Exactly.
the first
Some
life.
other-
Because I
first
feel
life.
like there are aspects out there that we can talk about,
Okay.
that we can really broaden,
We
to really
exactly.
identify how fast are we really going.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's
Because
beautiful.
it's literally separating us from life and existence itself.
Exactly.
I think
that's-
we have lost the value of life.
Of
I think
life.
we have to go back and really understand why are we living.
That's